Well, quite simply, it's win or bust for Michael O'Neill and his players here in Lyon. Good evening to you all. Defeat in the opening match, of course, and a final group game to come against the world champions Germany all combines to mean any realistic hopes of reaching the knockout stages, that they all hinge really on this game here in Lyon. If they don't take all 3 points from this match against the Ukrainian side that conceded just 5 goals in the 12 matches that they played to get here, then Michael O'Neill and his players will be packing their bags. So with that in mind, Michael O'Neill has taken drastic action. He's changed the shape of the team, he's made 5 changes in personnel, and he's left Kyle Lafferty on the bench. Also dropping out Conor McLaughlin, Shane Ferguson, who were the wing backs against Poland, both Paddy McNair and Chris Bird, who started in midfield. It's a 4-3-3 formation today. Stuart Dallas, Connor Washington and Jamie Ward in attack. None of the front 3 started that game against Poland. Aaron Hughes starts at right back, winning his 101st cap. Johnny Evans moves to left back. His brother Corey starts in midfield. It's the first time siblings have played at a major finals for Northern Ireland. The noise is deafening. The team in full: McGovern, Hughes, Cathcart, McCauley and Evans. Then Corey Evans, Davison, Norwood, Ward, Washington and Dallas. Jerry Taggart is sitting alongside me. Jaws hit the floor, Jerry, when we heard the news that Kyle Lafferty wasn't in the starting 11. Whatever happens after 90 minutes here, people are going to look to that decision. It'll be a masterstroke, or questions will be asked.
Well, that's twice in 2 games. There's been people scratching their heads, Joel, at the team selection in the formation of the Northern Ireland team. And again today, like you say, with Kyle Lafferty being left out. But personally, I think Michael O'Neill's made the right decision. I think when Conor Washington came on against Poland the other day, he showed enthusiasm, he showed pace, he showed strength, aggression. And for me, Kyle Lafferty's just a little bit out of sorts. I just think at the minute he just lacks fitness. He lacks minute on the pitch, and you could sort of see that against Poland the other day.
We'll run you through the Ukrainian lineup shortly, but first we'll just pause for the 2 anthems. Well, the formalities almost complete. It's showtime. Players shaking hands in front of us. It means kickoff is imminent. We gave you the Northern Ireland changes. Ukraine have made just 1 change to the side beaten by Germany in their opening game. Roman Zazulya, 2-0 by Germany. Roman Zazulya, who started up front, is left out. He's replaced by Yevhen Seleznyov. He'll be supported by the 2 star men, Andrei Yarmolenko and Yevhen Konoplyanka from the wide areas. It's a team almost exclusively made up by Ukrainian-based players. There are 6 from Shakhtar Donetsk, 3 from Dynamo Kiev. Only Konoplyanka plays his football outside Ukraine. He's at Sevilla. Jerry Taggart sitting alongside me. The players have heard the final instructions from Michael O'Neill. He has rolled the dice, Jerry. He's had a think about it. We're led to believe the decision over Lafferty was made this morning. He slept on it. He told Kyle Lafferty, we're told, that it was he or Washington. He picked the rest of the team and he made that call this morning. It is the headline grabber in the team, but the other changes you feel could be just as significant.
Yeah, I do, Joel. And again, that's fair play to Michael O'Neill. Well played as a manager. He's gone to Kyle last night, told him he wasn't sure who he was going to pick. I'm sure Kyle Lafferty isn't happy, because if you're fit and available to play, you'll want to play.
There'd be something wrong if he was happy.
Exactly, and he's our star striker. But as I said, good management from Michael O'Neill. I think it's a good decision, because remember, Kyle Lafferty can always come on as a sub and make an impact, and that's what he'll be looking for Kyle to do if he needs him later on in the game.
What a night for Aaron Hughes, winning his 101st cap here at the European Championship finals. He had retired from international football before Michael O'Neill took the job. He was persuaded to come out of retirement. Michael O'Neill dangled that carrot. Why don't you try to get 100 caps? Maybe you've a chance of ending your international career at a major finals. He was released by Brighton. He went to Melbourne to try and get club football, and here he is playing at the European Championship finals, winning his 101st cap at the age of 36. Countdown approaching, major countdown inside the stadium. The fans get to 0 and the referee blows his whistle. Pavel Kralovets He's a Czech official. He had Manchester United against PSV, Chelsea against Dynamo Kiev, and Roma against Real Madrid in the Champions League. He's a vastly experienced referee, and he will take charge of this key encounter. Remember, nothing other than a win will do for either of these two sides. They both lost their opening matches. Johnny Evans getting an early touch in his left back position tonight. Started as one of three centre backs when the team played Poland, but you think way back to when Johnny Evans made his international debut, that came at left back in a 3-2 win against Spain way back in 2006, so it's not a position that he's unfamiliar with. Throws the ball down the line. Northern Ireland finding Washington, trying to start on the front foot. Attempted cross, takes a deflection, and it goes behind, and it's going to be a first corner of the game inside the opening minute, and it's exactly the start that we didn't see from Northern Ireland against Poland and Nice.
I was just what I was going to say, Joel. Straight away the ball goes up to Washington. He controls it, brings Davis into play. We get a corner out of it in the first minute. Hallelujah.
Corner kick is taken short. Ukraine have switched off here. Norwood has a chance to swing in the cross. It's a deep cross towards the back post, headed now towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Cleared away by Shevchuk. He got his head to the ball. Norwood tries to drill it back out towards the far side, but it was a packed sort of area midway inside the Ukrainian half. They win the ball back and try to break on the left hand side. The referee has a look at that challenge and gives a free kick. Corey Evans, the guilty man, and the free kick is maybe 5 yards inside the Northern Ireland half, and it was a challenge on Konoplyanka, who was sent tumbling. Northern Ireland players wearing black armbands during this game as a mark of respect for Darren Rogers, the Northern Ireland supporter who died so tragically in the early hours of Monday morning. Maybe didn't hear that news. He fell from the promenade in Nice, and just a tragic accident just hours after watching the game, and the players, many of them really affected by that. They wearing black armbands for the occasion. Now another foul, this time by Shevchuk, so that's one apiece if you like, and Northern Ireland will now have a free kick which is maybe 20 yards just inside their half. We're just getting a shot on our monitor of Michael O'Neill looking to pass on some instructions to Oliver Norwood. The change of shape should not alarm Northern Ireland fans. They played 4-3-3 the entire qualifying campaign, Jerry.
That's right, and straight away they look a lot more comfortable. You can see what the Ukrainians are going to do. They're going to try and get the ball out wide early and get their two wide men, Yarmolenko and Konoplyanka, in the game early and build from there.
They have some defending to do at the moment. Washington hassling and harrying and winning his team a throw-in deep inside Ukrainian territory. Johnny Evans takes it towards Davis, headed out of play for another throw-in, this one right beside the corner flank. You're listening to BBC Radio Ulster, BBC Radio 5 Live. We're here at the European Championship, and it's Northern Ireland against Ukraine, still 0-0. Jerry Taggart alongside me. There's Stuart Dallas, edge of the box, right-footed shot, goalkeeper, good hands, holds on to it. Had he spilled it, Northern Ireland players in the vicinity, particularly Washington, looking to feed off the scraps, but Piatov held on to the ball.
It's good play though, Joel. Again, it's good build-up play from the Northern Irish lads. Good movement off the ball to enable Stuart Dallas to get his shot away.
Crane trying to build on the far side, their left-hand side, but Cathcart cuts out an attempted cross and just puts it out of play. Craig Cathcart, who was so close to an appearance in an FA Cup final this season, fell at the semi-final stage with Watford. That's a great attempt to switch the play towards Fedetsky on the near side. He's kept it in. Ukraine, who have had very little opportunity in the opening 5 minutes to get any time inside the Northern Ireland half, had won a throw-in, but it's been won back, and Davis tries to bring it away. He was held. The referee wasn't happy with that challenge by Sidorchuk, and free kick for Michael McGovern, the goalkeeper, to take just outside his penalty area.
Yeah, again, you just see there, Joel, the number 7 for Ukraine, Yarmolenko. He makes them runs inside the pitch, giving the space for the fullback Sadetsky to get down that wing and try and get on the ball. Northern Ireland have coped with it well. Good solid start, look a lot more comfortable in this formation, and they're seeing plenty of the ball, which is very important.
Throw in by Fedetsky. 2 Northern Ireland players go to win it. Johnny Evans gets his head to the ball just inside the Ukraine half, and the ball bounces once out of play, and the assistant referee signals for a Ukrainian throw-in. Fedetsky again is going to be the man to take it. He's looking for options. It's just a little poke in field, and the ball breaks kindly for Kovalenko. He is dispossessed. Breaks for Macaulay, Gareth Macaulay. His ball is straight under the chest of Fedetsky, and a little touch from Yarmolenko plays it through the centre circle, and a chance for Ukraine to build. Back with the left back, Shevchuk. You can hear the boos from the massed ranks of the Northern Ireland fans, most of them away to our right behind the goal that Northern Ireland are defending in this first half. It's a great pass by Stepanenko out to the left hand side. Chance to put the cross in early. Gareth Macaulay does well. He just shadows Selesnyov, and Macaulay was just too strong. Jerry, good defending. You'd have appreciated defending like that.
Yeah, that's right. Again, there's
like a throwback to your day, Jerry.
There's a train of thought in defending, but I'm a big believer that when the ball goes wide, you literally have to get close to the centre forward who's making any sort of run into the box. Get close to him and make sure he doesn't get a free header or a free shot on goal. And there Gareth Macaulay showed, his experience at international level by defending the right way.
He and Hughes, the two 36-year-olds in the Northern Ireland starting 11. Gareth Macaulay winning his 63rd cap now. An attempt just to feed the ball through to Washington. It was well cut out. And Ukraine won the ball back. The referee's going to play an advantage here. He thought about giving a free kick, but Yarmolenko was free on the right hand side. Tries to run Evans, gets the cross, and he's overhit the cross. Wildly overhit the cross. It may be kept in play over on the far side. Aaron Hughes is there. He has support from Ward, and Ward right footed thumps it forward. Washington runs across, but the ball will go out of play, and it will be another throw in. Still 0-0 here in Lyon. Almost 7.5 minutes played. Stade de Lyon. What a magnificent stadium this is. 59,000 capacity. I think somewhere between sort of 52 and 55,000 in here this evening. Built at a cost of just over €400 million. As you walk around the place, Jerry, you can see where the money was spent. It is absolutely stunning.
Fantastic stadium.
Where Saracens won the European Rugby Cup last month. It's actually the first stadium in France to be owned by a French football club. The rest actually rent their stadiums. Lyon seeing this as a chance. Oh, now Norwood dispossessed, shot, hits Macaulay. His arms were down by his sides. No real appeal by the Ukrainian players, but Norwood caught in possession, dwelling on the ball 30 yards from goal, and that's a warning.
Yeah, again, Oliver Norwood had a first good touch, tried to look up, tried to pick a pass, but he just took too long making his decision, and he got caught out about 25 yards from goal. But to be fair to him, the first thing he did was track back and try and get a leg in, and luckily enough for Northern Ireland that they've cleared the ball.
So, given away again. So Northern Ireland struggling to pick out Washington. The middle man of a front three, Dallas from Leeds United on the left, and Jimmy Ward from Notts Forest on the right. Of course, Washington, we were telling you during the game against Poland, he spent the European Championships last year working as a postman, playing part-time football in the 9th tier of English football. It's a good run down the left by Washington, but the referee has given the throw-in to Ukraine. Fedetsky is the man who's going to take it.
You can just see what the Ukrainians are trying to do, Joe, when they get the ball. They're trying to work it out wide. They're trying to get their two full-backs in the game. And when they get it out wide, the two wide players, they love coming in off the line and linking in, leaving the space for the two full-backs to get down into the final third of the pitch.
That gives the Northern Ireland full-backs a problem, Jerry.
It does, because you don't know whether to stick or twist at times. Whether you follow that run or you pass it on to one of the centre halves. So it's important that the two wide men are following the runs of the full-backs into the channels.
Konoplyanka on the left-hand side tries to pull the cross back into the penalty area. Two Northern Ireland players were there to smuggle the ball away from Kovalenko. Well, again, Ukraine win it back inside the Northern Ireland half. Fedetsky tried to put the cross in. He gets it straight back again, 25 yards out. Goes square instead to Sidorchuk. He finds Stepanenko. Encouraging Rakitsky to come forward. His pass is just slightly overhead. Wasn't doing too many favours to the captain Shevchuk, the left back, but he managed to stop it going out for a goal kick, I think. And it's going to be a Northern Ireland throw-in in the right back position, almost right beside the corner flag. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Radio Ulster, coming to you live here from the European Championship. 0-0 between Northern Ireland and Ukraine. Jerry Taggart, the former Northern Ireland defender, sitting alongside me. A reminder, earlier today England scored right at the death to beat Wales 2-1, coming from behind, and Sturridge and Vardy off the bench to score the goals. Gareth Bale had earlier scored a free kick that Joe Hart should have saved. And later tonight it will be Poland against Germany on BBC Radio 5 Live, if you're listening. And Jens Lehmann, former Arsenal and German international goalkeeper, will be part of the commentary team. Rain starts to fall here in Lyon. It's a lovely little header which finds Davis if he can carry the ball with him, but good tracking back and good defending by Sidorchuk meant Davis had to put the brakes on. Very important intervention by Sidorchuk there, Jerry. Yeah, I was going to say it was a good ball into Conor Washington, a quality ball, a quality long ball into Conor Washington, and he just got something on it to release Steve Davis. But the guys in midfield, the Northern Irish guys in midfield, just look a little bit nervous on the ball. You know, when they're defending the box, they look a little bit nervous. They just need to get a hold of the ball and get some passes away, just like that. Lovely little touch by Davis, who just flicks the ball infield to Norwood. Aaron Hughes finding Gareth McCauley just along the back four. He's forced Cathcart to go a little bit wide on this left hand side. He knocks it forward in behind for Washington to chase. He stops it from going out for a goal kick, but he has the tall figure of Kacharidi shadowing him. 6'6" Kacharidi, the Ukrainian central defender. Here's Washington, gets away from trouble, has a shot, was ambitious from the angle and from over 20 yards, but he'd worked so hard to get the ball himself. I thought he probably deserved the shot and goal himself. He is a tireless worker, Jerry. We've seen it already, chasing lost causes, trying to put defenders under pressure, and just trying to make it difficult for Ukraine to get out, which as a Northern Ireland defender you would be very pleased about, because you need the breather from time to time, as we saw on Sunday. Yeah, well, there's one thing's for sure, he's definitely got the beat in the centre half, Kachidiri. That's twice now he's got him behind him down the channel. Here's Shevchuk, the left back, trying to get forward again. Gareth McCauley has the ball. Shevchuk had stayed forward, but McCauley plays a good pass. That's good play from Ward, and a chance now to burst forward. Ollie tried to play the pass towards this near side, but defender got himself in the way, cut out the route to Washington, and Ward's pass was deflected back to the goalkeeper Piatov. Well, he just delayed his pass there, Jamie Ward. I think Conor Washington was in an offside position. He just delayed his pass, and when Conor Washington got back on an onside position, you know, the defender got back for the Ukrainians and made a decent challenge. But again, you know, the build-up play through the thirds of the pitch is better from Northern Ireland. You're seeing lots more of the ball. It's just that final pass at the minute. Shevchuk, the fullback, can't keep that one in. The rain is falling heavily now. It's quite a stadium. They describe the roof of this stadium as a giant umbrella, so that might come in handy. This rain continues. When you pull off the motorway, you kind of think the Millennium Falcon has landed, Jerry. Yeah, it's a very unique sort of design, the outside of this building. But you big in stadium architecture, Jerry, are you? Well, you've seen a few in your time. I don't think I'll be going on Mastermind soon as a specialist subject. It's not Filbert Street, is it? Well, listen, you're talking about one of the iconic stadiums in the football world, mate. The rain is falling so heavily that a number of supporters on the far side of the ground, the first maybe 5-6 rows, they've spotted that there are some seats further back, some free seats, and they're moving back into those seats because the roof obviously doesn't stretch out to cover all the seating here. Here come Ukraine again. Sidorchuk with the ball, middle third of the pitch, just advancing towards the edge of the Northern Ireland penalty area. Ukraine trying to get some possession perhaps inside the final third. So Stepanenko gives it to Sidorchuk, back to Stepanenko. They're the two holding midfield players. Goes square. Ward tried to put pressure on the ball but can't quite manage it. Ukraine still enjoying possession here. Konoplyanka, and then a low cross is played in towards the near post, and Gareth McCauley sticks out his left foot, comes off the inside of his foot and bounces out of play on the far side for a Ukrainian throw in, maybe 10 yards away from the corner flag. It's been taken quickly. Cross goes into the box, reaches the edge of the penalty area. Clearance isn't great, shot from distance is off target, and McGovern can happily watch that effort from Sidorchuk sail over his crossbar.
Yeah, it's good build-up play from the Ukrainians down the left-hand side again, Joel. I'm just a little bit concerned about Oliver Norwood at the middle, in the middle of that holding role. Defensively, it's not really his game. And just a couple of times he's let a couple of balls he should have cleared, he hasn't cleared. He's got the ball stuck under his feet once or twice inside the box. And again there, a cross has come in, he's not cleared it, it's gone to the edge of the box. And one of the Ukrainians has got a shot off.
0-0 between Northern Ireland and Ukraine. Jerry Taggart alongside me. 51 caps, played against Ukraine in 1997, Jerry.
I remember it well.
Lost 2-1. And Ian Dowie scored a penalty.
He did indeed.
Believe you weren't on penalties, Jerry.
No. 7
international goals, you'd have been reliable. It's the only goal that Northern Ireland have ever scored against Ukraine in the previous 4 meetings. And I don't want to worry you early on, but the last 2 finished 0-0.
It was the only way we were going to score a goal, Joel.
It was a good Ukrainian side.
I remember we went down after about a minute to a Sergei Rebrov screamer from 25 yards.
Rakitsky plays it out to the left-hand side on the captain Shevchuk. Back to Rakitsky. It's a walking pace from him, and then he looks for the angled ball from left back to wide right. Picks out his target. It's a good pass. Fedetsky was the other fullback who was on the receiving end. And then it's Stepanenko who just slips as he plays a long ball out to the left-hand side, but still managed to find his target. Ukraine maybe stepping up the pace now. It's a good ball in behind the fullback, but Fedetsky just can't get there quickly enough. Steve Davis had tracked him. They're just looking for those passes in behind Evans at left back, in behind Hughes at right back. Just trying to pick the lock open at the moment, Jerry.
Yes, but the problem's occurring because Oliver Norwood is sort of standing in front of his back four and standing in front of the 2 centre halves, and he's not really affecting the game defensively. So Ukrainians are releasing Stepanek, the number 6, one of the holding midfielders, and he's getting on the ball and just dictating the play and being allowed to pick passes. Oliver Norwood needs to come out of that hole and put pressure on the ball and get Stephen Davis and Corey Evans to put pressure on the Ukrainians a little bit higher up the pitch.
Well, the score in Lyon here is still Ukraine 0, Northern Ireland 0. For 5 Live listeners, we're just going to hand back to the studio for a breaking news story with Richard Foster. Programme also in the starting lineup. That's a ball from Cathcart all the way back to the goalkeeper McGovern. And McGovern, right-footed, just knocks it long into the Ukrainian half. Breaks again for Cathcart, who spins away from trouble. Northern Ireland trying to pass their way out of danger, and that's good play between Davis and Norwood. Now it goes now to the right-hand side and Corey Evans. Ward trying to get in off that far touchline, trying to get himself involved in the game, but back it goes to the centre circle. Cathcart starting things off again, finding Johnny Evans. Cathcart once more, gives it square to Gareth McCauley. McCauley looks for the long angled ball up towards Dallas. Dallas is beaten in the air. Breaks kindly again. Rain absolutely teeming down here now. Very, very heavy shower this. Evans, Johnny Evans, gives it closer to the near side and Dallas. Dallas will want to try and get himself into this game a little bit more. Haven't seen a lot of him, but that will do his confidence the world of good, taking on the defender and winning the throw-in.
Yeah, again, Joel, it's good build-up play from Northern Ireland. There's about 10 to 15 passes in that move. And okay, we've only got a throw-in, but at the end of the day, we didn't see that against Poland. So, we know we can cause the Ukrainians a bit of problem, a few problems. Let's hope we can just keep this style up.
Johnny Evans with a cross into the penalty area, which is cleared away. Ukraine unable to take full advantage of the possession that they had. Selesnyov pushed in the back. He goes down. and it will be a free kick for Ukraine, and it's going to be taken short inside their own half. Rakitsky plays it forward out again. That pass, he looks forward towards the near side and he finds the target, Yarmolenko. 2 defenders around him, puts the left foot across into the penalty area, and it got past Macaulay, but he was very, very pleased to see it just get away from Selesnyov, who I think was in behind him, and drift out of play for a goal kick.
Yes, well, you've seen Stuart Dallas there coming back and helping Johnny Evans out when Yarmolenko had the ball. We all know he likes to come inside onto his left foot, and he delivered a great ball. But again, Gareth Macaulay did everything right there. Even though Selesnyov was in behind him, he'd read that. He knew he couldn't get on the end. If he stood his ground and stayed strong, and he just seen it out for a goal kick. But that just shows that where the Ukrainians are definitely at their strongest is when the ball goes wide and Yarmolenko and Konoplyanka get on it, they can cause us problems.
Gareth Macaulay is going to do well to keep this ball in play over on the far side. He was always stretching. I don't think it did stay in. We now have a second ball on the pitch. Ukraine want to take a throw in quickly. They will now be allowed to take that throw in. It's on their left hand side, but again they're happy just to knock it back into their own half. And Rakitsky, who has seen a lot of the ball, and again the captain Shevchuk, the left back, spending so much time inside the Northern Ireland half over on that far side, but the ball's been worked out to the right hand side instead. Yarmolenko, he's been forced back. Johnny Evans encouraging his team to get up the pitch. You can see where he is. He was about 15 yards, 20 yards ahead of the rest of the back four when Northern Ireland won the ball back, and he wanted to see a little bit more urgency from the rest of the back four trying to join him with a higher line.
Well, again, if you just look at Corey Evans, Connor Washington, Steve Davis, two of that four midfield are in the Ukrainians' half. Yeah, we didn't see that against Poland.
Still 0-0 between Ukraine and Northern Ireland. If you're listening on BBC Radio Ulster, we'll be opening the phone lines after the game. 030 30 80 55 55. We'd love to hear from you. John O'Neill and Jerry Taggart will be taking the calls. On this right hand side again, it's Yarmolenko, feeds it infield to Kovalenko, happy just to work it square and encourage Rakitsky forward again, but it's a shot which bounces once, and it's a couple of sighters Rakitsky's had. Wouldn't want to give him too much more encouragement. He fancies a shot from distance, doesn't he? Well,
if you just watch it, you go back to Lorraine, Joel Apps making the surface really slippy. If you go back to that shot, not one of the Northern Ireland defenders is following that ball in. Selesnyov is, if Michael McGovern drops that ball or it slips out of his hands, he's in free on goal. So they've got to be careful, especially balls sliding along the floor. They've got to track back and make sure they cover the goalkeeper or cover any runs from the Ukrainian strikers.
So Rakitsky just keeps it in on the far side. You'll hear now we've just approached the 24th minute, and the applause you'll hear in the background is the minute's applause for Darren Rogers, the Northern Ireland supporter who died in Nice on Monday after that fall from the promenade. And the Northern Ireland fans have also had a banner made, R.I.P. Darren Rogers, remembered by the Green and White Army. Terrible story, Jerry.
Yeah, and you know it was awful news when we heard, after all the good things that have been said about the Northern Ireland fans down in Nice, and then something tragic like that to happen just put a total dampener on things in Nice, which was a fantastic place to have our first game. So yeah, obviously the thoughts go to his family and everyone who was associated with him.
Tremendous gesture as well by the Republic of Ireland supporters when news broke. Of course, they were playing that evening, and a rendition of Stand Up for the Ulster Man, which was echoing around the stadium in the 24th minute. The Northern Ireland fans now paying their own tribute. Ukraine have a free kick. To be taken right footed, swung towards the goal. It's wildly overhit and goes well behind Konoplyanka. I have no idea what he was trying there, but Northern Ireland will be quite happy to see that go behind. Just to say, listeners on BBC Radio 5 Live will return to the news at half-time following that news of the death of the Labour MP Joe Cox. 25 and a half minutes played here in Lyon. It's still Ukraine 0, Northern Ireland 0. No chances to speak of in the game so far, but a much better start to the game by Northern Ireland compared with what we saw in Nice against Poland. Rakicki square across the edge of his own 18-yard box to find Cacciaridi. Cacciaridi being put under pressure by Davis. Davis allows him to turn infield. Cacciaridi plays a danger ball, and that was missed, totally missed by, I think it was Stepanenko. He was lucky that Northern Ireland didn't get possession, and Stepanenko immediately berating Cacciaridi as if to say, why on earth are you giving me the ball in that area? But Ukraine have been fortunate. They've managed to break towards the edge of the Northern Ireland penalty area. Ball's cleared, not too far. Falls for Shevchuk again. Thought about the cross, decides not to. Now the ball does go into the area. Headed away, flag it stayed down. I think Northern Ireland maybe thought that Selesnyov was offside, but they managed to clear the danger, and it's a wildly hit shot off the outside of the right foot, which spins away to the near side, and Konoplyanka just he hasn't got going as yet. He's a better player than that free kick that he hit out of above the crossbar, and that shot that he's hit totally off the outside of his right foot and out of play. The shot that he hit went out of play for a throw-in level with the edge of the 18-yard box.
Well, let's just hope he's having one of those off days for 90 minutes, Joel, and he doesn't just suddenly find a little bit of form.
He said he didn't want to go to the Premier League last summer because it wasn't technical enough for him. The standard of football wasn't technical enough. He said that's why he went to La Liga.
Does that mean it was too physical for him then?
Could be coded message for that. Ward plays it in low towards the near post, and who did that come off last? It came off Washington last, according to the additional assistant behind the goal, who had a perfect view of it. Washington felt he was pushed, but I think that would have been a very soft penalty.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Jamie Ward. Good low cross. Connor Washington makes a near post run, as you expect him to do. The catcher really has his arms on his shoulders, but yeah, it'd have been very, very harsh if the referee gave that. But again, more encouraging signs for Northern Ireland there.
So a throw in on the near side. Fedetsky to take it. Jerry Taggart and I just perched up right above the halfway line here in the Stade de Lyon, watching Ukraine coming forward with Rakicki from his central defensive position. That was a hefty challenge. Not sure if the referee was going to give that free kick. He waited at least 5 to 10 seconds. Eventually blew his whistle. Jimmy Ward picks himself up again. I think Jerry's going to get it. Well, to be fair, Rakicki slipped. A lot of the players struggling to keep their footing now after that heavy shower.
I think a lot of them persist with these blades, Joel, and in this sort of weather it doesn't help.
Bring back proper boots, Jerry?
Absolutely.
Long free kick for Northern Ireland, played up with the Gareth McCauley manhandle, it was McCauley manhandled to the ground. They know he's the target for these set pieces, so two men not only marking him but climbing all over him. Another one up towards McCauley. This time he might get a chance to chest it down towards the edge of the area. Ward couldn't get there quickly enough, and it's knocked away out on the near side for a Northern Ireland throw-in, level with the penalty spot on the Northern Ireland left. Johnny Evans from his full-back position today, just ambling forward, and he's going to take the throw.
That's not even a trundle.
It's not.
That is an amble.
It is an amble. Takes the throw into Davis. Davis, I think, has won himself another throw-in. Yes, he has. The skipper. 85th cap tonight for Stephen Davis. Another man like Aaron Hughes, who you would think will get to the century. Stephen Davis still just 31. Johnny Evans throws the ball to Davis again. Back to Evans, and now back to Davis. On his right foot, but Davis was offside. Flag's gone up on the far side, and that's careless.
Yeah, it's careless, but again, some good play there. I think Gareth McCauley's done brilliant in the build-up, in that possession build-up on that. He's managed to back into the centre half inside the box, chase the ball down, but there's just nobody on the front foot to come and get that. That's just an opportunity that, we could have made something better of. But it's good play from Northern Ireland. It's a lot better than the other day against Poland. We've just got to keep this tempo, keep pressing them in their own halves. You can see that they're liable. They may make a mistake along the way, the Ukrainians. It's good stuff so far.
Well, again, just while the play continues here, we just look and see what happens with this attack. Yarmolenko on the near side doesn't receive the ball. Listeners on BBC Radio Ulster will stay with the football, but those listening on BBC Radio 5 Live, we'll go back to the studio for more on that breaking news story. Here's Richard Foster.
And after getting beat the other day, there may be more pressure again on this game, coming into this game, than there is on Northern Ireland. So
welcome back to those listeners on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's still 0-0. We'll have more on that story at half time. Now here's Washington inside the penalty area, knocks it to the edge of the box, and Ward can't quite get it under control. Shot on the turn. Davis is now arriving. Davis tries to thread it through, takes a deflection and goes out of play for a corner.
Well, I've got to give credit to the Ukrainians. They defended stoutly there. Yeah, again, good build-up play from Northern Ireland. Worked the ball down the line, down the left-hand side. A good pullback from Conor Washington. But if you look at the Ukrainian defence, they stood up manfully and managed to get that ball away to safety, although they've given away a corner.
21 clean sheets in the 35 games under the current manager, Ukraine. They're hard to break down. Northern Ireland will take a corner when the referee is happy that he has sorted out a domestic dispute inside the penalty area. Too much barging and shirt pulling and other nonsense. Jamie Ward, right-footed from the right. He still hasn't taken it. Perhaps this is something they've worked on the training pitch. Some sort of training routine. And it comes to the box. Oh, Cathcart wins the header. Great chance. He's put it wide. Again,
Joel, that's a fantastic delivery from Oliver Norwood. We didn't see that the other night. It's a great ball into the box, and Cathcart rose well. The Ukrainians, they choose to mark man for man, like the Northern Irish boys do. But Cathcart got a little bit of space, and at the end of the day, that's a free header. You're expecting and you're hoping he's going to hit the target, but painfully it's just over the bar. But again, very good play from Northern Ireland.
Well, we have a monitor here, Jerry. I'm sure we'll maybe see a replay of that at some point. From our angle, it looked close.
It's a great delivery. And that's what we didn't see the other night against Poland.
Rakitsky with a long, hopeful ball that just drifts out of play. That's the cheer you may have heard in the background from the visiting Northern Ireland fans. Here you are, Jerry, on the monitor. Oh, it is close. Just misses the angle of post and crossbar.
Yeah, as I say, it's a free header, really. All right, he might be a little bit off balance as he's climbed for it. But it's a great delivery, and I always say, if the ball's good, you give yourselves a chance. You give the players inside the box a chance of going attacking it.
Well, he scored a couple of goals, Craig Cathcart, in relatively recent games. He scored in the final qualifier in Finland, scored in a friendly against Wales, both those games finishing 1-1. I'm sure he himself will feel that he should have scored goal number 3. Northern Ireland lose possession inside their own half, and they give it to Shevchuk, the captain. Goes wide to Konoplyanka, and infield now to Stepanenko. Crane patiently work it to the right hand side. Fedetsky, the right back, has to knock it all the way back to his own half, and Kacheridi being put under pressure by Jamie Ward. He doesn't look comfortable when he has Jamie Ward nipping around his ankles. Now it's a great run by the left back, Shevchuk. Tried to pick him out, but the run was spotted. Northern Ireland managed to win the ball back. It's a wasteful pass forward. That one will run all the way through to the Ukrainian goalkeeper Piatov. BBC Radio Ulster and BBC Radio 5 Live bringing you live commentary from Lyon. It's Ukraine against Northern Ireland at the European Championship, and it is still 0-0. Jerry Taggart, the former Northern Ireland defender, former Leicester City defender, alongside me. It's a shot from at least 20 yards out, closer to 25, and there's an appeal for a corner by Jamie Ward, and eventually the three officials between them, after about 10 seconds, agree. I mean, it's not difficult. The assistant referee and the referee behind the goal are on that side. I mean, it is a glancing blow, but they're bound to see that, surely.
Again, I think it's Jamie Ward taking the corners, not Oliver Norwood.
Yeah,
Joel.
Ward took the last one. So what can he do this time? standing hands on hips. Again, it's right-footed from the right. Cathcart was the target last time. Macaulay wins the header this time, but it's a looping header, and it's easily gathered by Piatov.
I just think when you're heading the ball that close to the 18-yard box.
Well, one in the air by Aaron Hughes, who was last man standing. Long clearance down the pitch by the goalkeeper after he had caught the header by Macaulay. It's a great story, Aaron Hughes getting to his century of caps and getting to a major finals, Jerry, after playing in 9 qualifying campaigns. The 9th time of asking, he eventually got over the line. Almost half of his 101 caps coming as captain, and coming here to play in these finals as a non-attached player. He doesn't have a club.
Yeah, I was involved in a few of those campaigns with Aaron many moons ago, as you well know.
1997 he made his debut,
and I have to say I didn't think he would see the day, to be honest. Part of the reason why I retired from international football was I didn't think that Northern Ireland were strong enough, but he took over the captaincy, Aaron, and he's just gone from strength to strength. He's the ultimate professional, and nobody deserves this accolade more than him.
When he made his debut in 1997, 15 members of the 23-man Northern Ireland squad hadn't even finished primary school. Paddy McNair was 2 years of age, and the manager Michael O'Neill was in his 20s. That's how long he's been playing international football, and great to see him rewarded. Johnny Evans, left-footed, plays the ball, and there's a man over. It's Ward on the far side, takes a touch, drills it in low, cleared away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Ward could have picked out Corey Evans, but he decided just to try and drill it across the face of goal, and Ukraine, thankful they had a defender on the edge of the box who was able to clear the danger. Northern Ireland have the ball back. 6 minutes left in the first half. Possession given away to Yarmolenko. He's in his own half though. It's a great tracking back by Davis, the captain. Wins the ball back, and that's a late foul on Evans, and I think that's going to be a booking. Referee has seen enough. First yellow card of the game.
Yeah, rightly so. He's a little bit late on Johnny Evans. Going back to that move, I thought Jamie Ward was trying to get a shot off. I thought he miskicked the shot. It's gone across the goal. I thought he was going for goal then. It's a
tight angle, isn't it,
yeah,
Jerry?
But he sort of misskewed it, and Corey Evans isn't ready for it. He's going, why didn't you pull it back to me until the penalty spot?
So it was a moment when Jimmy Ward just needed to lift his head.
I think he just went for glory. He sort of misskewed the shot. It's gone across the goal, but gone in between Corey Evans and the Ukrainian defender, and ended up getting cleared. But again, it's good play from Northern Ireland.
Selesnyov was the man booked. A good time to remind you that Craig Cathcart and Konoplyanka are the 2 players who started this game on a yellow card. If they are booked this evening, then they will miss the next game. 2 yellow cards means a suspension at this stage. I think the bookings are kind of scrubbed after the round in the last 16, and then everybody can start again. Still 0-0. Ukraine and Northern Ireland. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Throw in towards Washington, who does well to get away from the defender. He's overhit the pass to Dallas, who was there to support him, and Washington immediately puts both hands to his forehead. He knows that was half a chance. It was 2 against 1. Again,
it's just that final ball. The build-up play is good. We're causing the Ukrainians problems. It's just that final ball.
Appeals for a handball. The referee blows his whistle again and gives Northern Ireland the free kick. Pavel Kralovets telling you at the start of the game about his vast experience. He encountered both Dynamo Kiev and Shakhtar Donetsk, the 2 big Ukrainian club sides in European games last season. Took charge of Shakhtar's quarter-final in the Europa League. That's a short free kick's worked well to Davis. Davis tries to go for goal, pushed away by the goalkeeper. Such a tight angle. I don't think anybody expected Davis to go for goal from there, but he got it on target. And to be fair to the goalkeeper, Piatov, he got a good strong hand to it and pushed it away from danger.
Joel, Steve Davis has used the same free kick he used against Poland and nearly got in against that. This time he gets on the end of it. It's a little bit wider, and he just absolutely thunders it.
Space now on the left hand side for Konoplyanka. He's up against Aaron Hughes. Hughes backing into the penalty area. Shot comes in low. Good block. Gareth McCauley joins Hughes. And with their many years and many caps of experience between them, they block the shot and it goes out of play for a throw-in over on the far side.
Joel, that's great defending from Gareth McCauley.
The two 36-year-olds combining.
He knew he was in trouble there, Aaron Hughes, and he covered his man brilliantly and able to get that ball away for a throw-in. But that's what you call proper defending.
Hughes does well, battling on the far side, and then it's a late challenge by Kovalenko, who's getting no change out of Hughes. Kovalenko went down as if to say that Hughes had struck him in the face with an arm. The referee looked at him as if to say, get up. And Aaron Hughes had a word in his ear.
We get encouraging signs for Northern Ireland, Joel.
Discipline has been a problem for many of these Ukrainian players, not just when they've been playing for the international team, but many of their club sides.
You can see if things aren't going their way, they're getting a little bit frustrated with themselves, and there's a little bit of indiscipline sneaking in if they don't get the breaks.
2 minutes left to play at the end of this first half. Still 0-0. Ukraine and Northern Ireland both starting the game without a point. They both need a win. Ukraine trying to finish the half on the front foot, attacking on the far side, the left. Shevchuk thought about a cross but played it short and square instead. Out towards the near side in Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko coming in field, the central position, gives it to the captain Shevchuk. He controls it and then knocks it back to Rakitsky. Rakitsky playing a little 1-2 with Stepanenko. They're just keeping the ball between them, but they're being forced back towards their own goal. It's getting a real round of applause from the Northern Ireland fans who could see how hard the team is working without the ball. Davis pulls the ball down, has a look at what's available, gives it to his right in Corey Evans. Aaron Hughes coming forward from his right back position, thought about a cross, takes on the defender. Now he does put the cross in too near the goalkeeper and he catches it high above his head, and it's a long way back for Aaron Hughes.
Yeah, it's good build up play again though, Joel, and Northern are nice and patient in that build up. Unfortunately again, just that final cross.
Ukraine trying to take advantage of the fact that Hughes hasn't got back to his right back position yet, and that is an awful pass, overhit and straight out of play from Konoplyanka for a goal kick. Terrible pass for a player of his ability. That is woeful.
Yeah, well, you can see the Ukrainians, when they're defending deep, they're looking to try and hit Northern Ireland on the break very, very quickly. But again, their final ball, as well as Northern Ireland's, isn't the greatest at the minute. And you just seen Kovalenko just stare at him and give him that look.
Well, the referee's blown the half-time whistle. No injury time required. Another one of the games at these finals where we haven't seen a physio on the pitch. It's been a bit of a trend so far. Northern Ireland have had a couple of chances. Craig Cathcart probably with the best of them, coming close with his header that just went past the angle of post and crossbar. An encouraging 45 minutes for Michael O'Neill and his players. They will take heart from the first half performance, and it has justified so far the changes that he has made. 5 personnel changes, remember, to the team. It's a half-time score here in Lyon of Ukraine 0, Northern Ireland 0. Well, the teams are back out, and it's the same 22 players that started the first half. So the Northern Ireland team, McGovern in goals, a back four of Hughes, Cathcart, McCauley and Johnny Evans. The 3-man midfield of Corey Evans, his brother, Stephen Davis and Norwood, and the front three of Ward and Dallas, either side of Connor Washington. It's 4-2-3-1 for Ukraine. Pyatov is the goalkeeper. A back four of Fedetsky, Kacharidi, Rakitsky and Shevchuk. Then the 2 holding midfield players, Sidorchuk and Stepanenko. The 3 attacking midfielders, Yarmolenko, Kovalenko and Konoplyanka. And Seleznyov is the striker up front, wearing the number 11 shirt. The rain is falling so heavily. We've had lightning, we've had thunder, So conditions are far from perfect, but it is a massive 45 minutes for both Ukraine and Northern Ireland. Remember, they both lost their opening games in the group. A draw does very little to help either side. A win could be absolutely huge. Ukraine, remember, up against Poland in their final game. Northern Ireland go to Paris to take on the world champions Germany. And reminder that Germany against Poland is live tonight on BBC Radio 5 Live. Jens Lehmann, the former Arsenal and German goalkeeper, he will be part of the commentary team. Northern Ireland attacking on the far side. They're attacking the end away to our right, which is where the majority of the expected 16 or 17,000 Northern Ireland fans who were coming here to watch this game are housed. A long, high cross into the box. Corey Evans wins it. Referee blows his whistle. Corey Evans was climbing, and he is running back, Corey Evans, into the driving, pouring rain here at the Stade de Lyon. Gerry Taggart, early thoughts?
Yeah, it's desperate here at the minute, Joe, with the rain, but going back to that first half for Northern Ireland, you know, it was a good first half. It was the best we've seen Northern Ireland play since they've been out here. I think the half-time team talk from Michael O'Neill is very, very important. I think the Ukrainian manager will give them their team, you know, he has a few stern words that have listened to the players in there, but Michael O'Neill has got to make sure that the players don't get complacent with that first half and come out here and make sure they stay on top of this game.
Northern Ireland have a free kick to defend from the right hand side, whipped in towards the back post. Macaulay was there and he heads it behind for a corner. Good defending.
Yeah, it was good defending, Joel. Again, Gareth Macaulay using all his experience.
Cacciariti was behind him.
Cacciariti, you can see, was trying to get in behind him, but Gareth knew exactly where the ball was going and just stood his ground, let it fall onto his head and safely put it out for a corner.
Corner kick from the left. Wind is now blowing the rain in towards us, in towards the near post, and a flick header at the near post which goes wide, and that was half a chance for Selesnyov, who got away from Oliver Norwood.
Yeah, I think Oliver Norwood, he's just in that near post space there. He gets dragged out towards the ball. It goes over Aaron Hughes' head, who I think's marking him. And when Oliver Norwood comes off that near post space, there's no one then on the near post, and Michael McGovern has to get across and cover that. I don't think if that was on target he was getting there, Joe.
Any sort of a glancing touch would have seen the ball probably beat McGovern at his near post. I told you in the first half about the numbers of fans who were trying to take shelter from the front few rows of this stadium. Now that the rain has reached its heaviest, the dozens of fans trying to find empty seats in the rows that are furthest back, particularly the end away to our left of the ground. I think the wind must be kind of taking the rain in that general direction. I think we need to have a word with the architect. Norwood, Macaulay! Gareth Macaulay at the back post, heads in his 8th international goal. He scored 4 in the qualifiers. Every goal that he has scored has been from a set piece, and that's another one. Norwood with the delivery. Macaulay got free and he powered the header past the goalkeeper. 49th minute, Northern Ireland take the lead.
Joel, you forgot one thing. More importantly, he's beaten my record. But it's an absolutely fantastic goal. It's a great ball in. Macaulay's got in behind the centre half. Kadiri is it? And he's absolutely parted into the back of the net. Back across the keeper. Keeper has no chance whatsoever. And Northern Ireland take a deserved lead. And Gareth Macaulay is now the highest scoring defender.
For those who were wondering what the record was, Gerry Taggart, the man beside me, had set the record for goals scored for Northern Ireland by a defender of 7. Gareth Macaulay had caught him. He's now just past him. Goal number 8, and as I was saying, every single one of them coming from set pieces. 6 of the 8 now headers. Every one of them scored in competitive matches. He doesn't do friendlies, but that is the most important of them all. The goal that gives Northern Ireland hope at these European Championship finals. but they have some defending of their own to do now.
They've got to settle down, Joel, now, yeah.
They face a set piece which is almost a mirror image of the one that they've just scored from. Konoplyanka is the man who's going to deliver it with his right foot into the box. Oh, saved by McGovern. Glancing header, and luckily for the goalkeeper, it was mightily close to him. Selesnyov is the man who's holding his head as if he may have been the one that got the touch. It was Selesnyov, the number 11, the centre forward, and McGovern, good footwork across his line, and the ball hit his wrists and just knocked up in the air, and he was able to grab it at the second attempt. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, great goalkeeping, Joel, and that just shows you the emotion just sort of run away with Northern Ireland there.
It's a great delivery from the free kick, you have to say, Jerry.
Yeah, it is, but you know, like just a little lapse in concentration, and it just shows you're never more vulnerable when just after you scored. They've showed it there.
It never rains but it pours for those poor Ukrainian fans, getting soaked at one end of the ground, and then Gareth McCauley pops up with a header. It's a completely different scene at the other end. So a low ball in towards the Ukrainian penalty area. No real pace on the cross from Davis, but Ukraine have struggled to get it away. Davis is in the area again. Aaron Hughes was trying to find him. Should be cleared now by Sidorchuk. Northern Ireland 1, Ukraine 0 here in Lyon, the European Championship finals. They haven't won a game at a major finals since Jerry Armstrong scored that night in Valencia in 1982 against Spain. More defending to be done. Ball's on the edge of the penalty area, shot drilled in, blocked by McCauley. Back doing the other part of his job. Tower of strength he is. Ukraine upping the tempo now. They know they need to try and find a way through this Northern Ireland defence. Great play from Washington. Chests it down for Ward. Washington's offside. He knows he can't chase that ball, and I don't think it's even going to go out of play for a Ukraine throw, and it's kept in by Stepanenko. Stepanenko square to Rakitsky, and it's out now to the near side in Konoplyanka. Needs to show more in this second half, Konoplyanka, for Ukraine. A couple of little drag backs. Had the ball taken from him by McCauley. Referee said that was a foul, and it's a free kick right out on the near touchline for Ukraine, maybe 20 yards out.
Yeah, again, Joel, it's in a really good position for Ukraine here. You know, a good delivery is going to cause problems for Northern Ireland. He's going to just try and float it in, towards the back post, really, and get people running across the face of the goalkeeper. That just makes it really difficult to defend.
Well, the last free kick from a similar area, the delivery from Konoplyanka was absolutely brilliant. What can he do this time? Sevilla winger. Referee has applied the magic spray. Here comes the ball, too much on it. Oh, the goalkeeper palms it down, McGovern into the 6-yard box, and just gathers it at the second attempt. And he spotted that Washington's made a run right through the middle of the pitch, and luckily for Ukraine, Pyatov had taken up a great position outside of his box. McGovern just knocked it straight down the middle of the pitch, and Washington was running clear in between two Ukrainian defenders.
Yeah, I say, Joel, that's great goalkeeping there from Pyatov. It's a great ball from McGovern. Seen the quick break was on, but he was alert to it. Came out, took no chances, got rid of the ball, and so well played Ukrainian goalkeeper.
It is going to be a really tricky final 36 minutes for the goalkeepers. In terms of their handling, many questions will be asked of them. The rain continues to fall heavily here in Lyon. Northern Ireland leading 1-0. Gareth McCauley with the goal 4 minutes into the second half. Cathcart knocks another free kick up. Again, McCauley wins. It might fall for Washington, and almost the clearance put it on a plate for Jamie Ward, who was on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Ukraine look all at sea in there.
Well, again,
they do not look like a team, Jerry, with 21 clean sheets in their previous 35 matches.
I say, Joel, there you go. It just shows the conditions are playing their part in this game now.
Ward on the near side does well, brings the ball away from the first challenge, leaves it, bites the cross in and punched away. Aaron Hughes put the cross in, the goalkeeper punched it away. I think it was another flash of lightning, I think, just above the stadium. all the ingredients are there to just make it one of those memorable nights.
Well, if I was Northern Ireland, I'd be putting lots of low crosses in, skidded shots from the edge of the box, make the keeper make saves.
Well, there's Ward just bundled out of the way. Stupid challenge by the defender. That's a gift of a free kick. It's Konoplyanka just losing the plot.
It's just important we try and keep a hold of this momentum, Joel, now. Yeah.
Almost right beside the corner flag on the near side, the right. Ward plays it in right-footed. Good header away. Falls for Norwood, I think it was, who got the shot in, was it?
It was Norwood with his left foot, yeah, Joel.
It's a great tracking back. Ball won back brilliantly by Ward. Releases Davis, the captain, on the right-hand side. This could be dangerous. Davis on his left foot, cuts in field. Two defenders got to him and managed to smuggle the ball away. Ball might bounce kindly here for Ukraine, who are mounting a counter-attack. Referee's happy with that challenge, doesn't see a foul. He's done well. The referee trying to decide between what is a slip, what is a slide, and what is a foul. Davis putting it across into the box. Washington saw the ball coming at him a little bit late. It was coming towards his head at pace, and he couldn't get the brakes on quickly enough to get his body in a position where he could head the ball towards goal as opposed to help it on its way. You now have hailstones bouncing off the pitch.
Well, Joel, Steve Davis has just showed his class there. Twice he's got the ball down the right-hand channel of the pitch. The first time there's only one body in the box. There's 4 Ukrainian defenders. He's just kept the ball, brought it back inside, and on the second occasion he's seen that Washington's free in the middle of the box. He puts a great ball in first time, doesn't even think about taking a touch. It's just a little bit overhead.
Well, this is now like something out of a movie. The hailstones bouncing off the pitch. Actually, now see the white on the pitch of the hailstones. Flashes of lightning regularly, rumbles of thunder in the distance. Northern Ireland fans bouncing up and down, singing along. They're absolutely loving this. The Ukrainian players, they're totally miserable, and the referee is taking the players off.
Joel, it's just like a summer's day in County Armagh, this.
Well, the referee is taking the players off the pitch because of the weather conditions.
Well, this is unbelievable.
57 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Northern Ireland dominating the game, well on top in the match, and the referee says that's enough, you're going off.
Although I have to say, looking at the size of the hailstones,
well, he obviously thinks it's perhaps too dangerous to continue.
Yeah.
You ever seen anything like this before, Jerry?
Yeah. County Armagh, summer's day.
Well, they put a message now on the screen just to let the supporters know. Match delayed due to adverse weather conditions. We're singing in the rain. Got a rendition, I think, from the Northern Ireland fans away to the right. So if you're just perhaps tuning in, Gareth McCauley has scored the only goal of the game so far. It came 4 minutes into the second half. The referee from the Czech Republic, Pavel Kralevets, has decided, with roughly 57 minutes and 20 seconds, I think, on the clock, to take the players off. We've had hailstones, we've had thunder, we've had lightning, and I now see that we have Ukrainian fans with no shirts on standing behind the goal.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, the stoppage has come at a really bad time for Northern Ireland. We're seeing the players in the tunnel about to come back out again, but I mean, most of them are standing there wringing their shirts out. Some have gone for a change of match shirt, but some have been handed towels. They're trying to dry themselves off. That was a torrential shower.
I was going to say it was a great time to go and change your shirts. Most of the players haven't done that. 1 or 2 have. You know, just a few minutes in the dressing room or in the tunnel trying to wait for the hailstones to stop. She's still going to feel the cold in it.
Well, the shower seems to have moved on. It may not be the last one. Who knows what time we'll get this game finished.
It's important, and now again, Joel, they start well. You know, there's been a break in play for 5 minutes or so, a few minutes. They've got to start the game well again.
Well, we're back underway. The referee drops the ball. It's just knocked back to Pyatov by Dallas. So Ukraine must have had possession when the game stopped. Controlled by Gareth McCauley, the goal scorer. Jerry Taggart sitting alongside me here watching. Northern Ireland leading Ukraine by 1-0. It's a long one played forward. Johnny Evans is trying to shepherd the ball out of play, and he does so. Michael McGovern, whose handling has been great so far, made one very important save from a free kick. And other than that, Jerry, other than that free kick, he has been largely untroubled. Yeah,
his handling's been good when he's been called upon, and like you say, he's not really had a lot to do as regards, shot stopping, coming for crosses, but you always have to stay alert as a goalkeeper. You can't switch off for a second. People say that centre half is the easiest position on the pitch, and it is physically as far as the amount of miles you run, but you can't switch off for a second. The same with a goalkeeper, he can't switch off even though he's not doing a lot.
9 goals from set pieces in the qualifiers Northern Ireland scored. That's number 10. They are such a threat from set pieces, and you think of the other chance that they had in the game, Craig Cathcart's header, that of course came from a corner. But 17,000 Northern Ireland fans bursting into a rendition of Will Griggs on Fire. I'm sure it's a song you're all familiar with by now. They are enjoying this moment. We approach the hour mark. 1-0. Northern Ireland making steady progress down the left hand side. They've given it absolutely everything. The one thing maybe Michael O'Neill will now start to think about, tired legs. Where does he make a change if he has to, in terms of those who maybe played the 90 in the first game as well? Yep. Johnny Evans on the far side, playing at left back tonight if you're just tuning in. Northern Ireland reverted to a back 4. Johnny Evans at left back, Aaron Hughes playing at right back. In goes Ward. That was a late and a high challenge by Ward. Referee's happy to let the play continue, plays a good advantage. Konoplyanka on the left hand side, magic in his boots. We haven't really seen it yet tonight. Does he have something to show? Plays the cross in left footed. It's a poor one, easily cleared away. You can see the water splashing on the pitch now as the ball drops after that heavy downpour. Makes it difficult for the players to remain upright. If they were slipping and sliding in the first half, Jerry, it's going to be even more difficult now in this second. Yeah,
you can see the ball's just catching in on the pitch as well, so there's a little bit of water on the surface of the pitch.
Oh, it's lovely from Ward. Just tried to knock it around the defender. I think the referee's going to say that the defender's nowhere to go. Ward's now going to be booked for the earlier challenge, the one I mentioned earlier, and I'm not overly shocked by that. Again, you don't want to tempt fate. The standard of refereeing in the tournament's been excellent.
It has, Joe. There's no doubt about that.
Tried to let the games flow.
Yep.
Haven't stopped the play unnecessarily, and it has allowed the games to be, more free flowing and more enjoyable to watch.
They've got the big decisions right as well, which has always been, a question mark over referees at tournaments.
This could be a chance here now, perhaps. Washington picking up possession inside the Ukrainian half. He's all on his own. Runs into the penalty area. He's looking for support. Gets his head up. Finds it from Dallas. Dallas, lovely little pirouette. Still going. Dallas gets to the byline. Puts the cross in. Just over the head of Corey Evans, who'd made a good run. And then the ball is just run out of play on the near side by Konoplyanka, who runs into Michael O'Neill. Puts his arm around him. Stops him from falling over. And gives him a pat in the back. And Konoplyanka runs away, kicking the puddles like a youngster who's been last picked when the P7s were picking the teams in the playground. He looks thoroughly miserable, thoroughly fed up, and absolutely disgusted with life.
Good.
Konoplyanka has the ball taken from him again, legally, according to the referee. Corey Evans is in a little tight spot, got the ball forward towards Washington, but he couldn't gather possession. Back to the Ukrainian goalkeeper, still 0-0. 28 minutes left to play. Gareth McCauley's goal separates the teams. You're listening to BBC Radio Ulster and BBC Radio 5 Live here from Lyon at the European Championship. Johnny Evans defending well, slides in with his right foot, plays it against the forward, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, What you probably did notice there, Joel, was Stuart Dallas absolutely tracked all the way back to hit Johnny Evans out. One took the runner, one went towards the ball. As a Ukrainian forward player tried to get it down the line, Johnny Evans steps across, sticks a leg out, comes back off the Ukrainian attacker, out for a goal kick. Great defending again, great tracking back from Stuart Dallas.
Up goes Cathcart, wins the ball inside his own half, forward for Washington to chase, and that's a push by Washington according to the referee. Just a little nudge on Kacharidi, and it's going to be a free kick which Ukraine have taken quickly.
I think if they want to get into this, Joel, the Ukrainians, they're probably going to have to think about changing it, because they're not getting any joy at the minute.
Steve Davis leading by example, chasing every single ball. Southampton midfielder who will be going home to a new manager following the departure of Ronald Koeman. That is a very important interception by Dallas, but Ukraine still have the ball on the edge of the Northern Ireland penalty area. Selesnyov is forced to go back, finds Sidorchuk. Sidorchuk gives it left to Rakitsky. This all going on inside the Northern Ireland half in the middle third of the pitch. Trying to find Konoplyanka on the left hand side, puts the cross in, glancing header away by Gareth McCauley. Bounce of the ball, and that's a late foul by Sidorchuk, and that's going to be a card.
Yes, a good clearance there, little bit late. Stepanenko, was it?
Sidorchuk, yeah, Sidorchuk.
Again, it was good build-up play from Ukraine initially, but Gareth McCauley has a great clearance.
I think it's brave from Evans as well. It's one of those balls that Corey Evans knows if he gets there first, he's going to take a hit, but he's going to get a free kick. And he knows exactly what's coming.
He's taking a hit.
And he's prepared to take the hit. Gets his team up the pitch, gets a free kick. Michael O'Neill comes to the edge of the technical area and berates the referee. Little did he think when he played in the first ever meeting between Northern Ireland and Ukraine 20 years ago that perhaps he would be standing on the touchline watching the two teams contest a game at the European Championship finals with him as manager. Incredible. On the left hand side, Konoplyanka again is seeing more and more of the ball, but so far has failed to deliver. But he is seeing a little bit too much of the ball for Northern Ireland's liking. Gets support from Shevchuk, the fullback. Northern Ireland have 9 outfield players behind the ball. Cross whipped into the box and helped on its way by Evans. He's got that a little bit wrong, perhaps Evans, but then he gets the second header. Davis is back trying to clear things up. He runs past the ball, flags up for offside, and it'll be a free kick for Johnny Evans. In the left back position, Yarmolenko gives the assistant referee a withering look, but I think he got it.
Yeah, Johnny Evans
just about right.
Yeah, Johnny Evans got himself a little bit tangled. I wasn't sure what to do with that header. But again, Stuart Dallas is tracking back brilliantly. Whenever the ball's on that far left-hand side, the Northern Irish far left-hand side, he's tracking back brilliantly and helping out. Substitution
for Northern Ireland. Ward is coming off and Niall McGinn is coming on. So Jimmy Ward is giving it everything tonight. Niall McGinn replaces him, and that's a like-for-like replacement. The Aberdeen player coming on to replace the man from Nottingham Forest. A little bit more energy from McGinn, who came off the bench in the opening qualifier against Hungary in Budapest and changed the game. Northern Ireland were 1-0 down in that game. He came off the bench, he scored one and he made one. Basically kick-started the campaign on the road that brought us all here. Remember, if you're listening on BBC Radio 5 Live, the other game in the group, Poland against Germany, will be live tonight. Jens Lehmann giving a German perspective on how the world champions have started this tournament, where they might go. So they will have eyes on going all the way to the final. You can hear from him later on BBC Radio 5 Live. On BBC Radio Ulster, if you're listening, we're opening the phone line 03030 80 55 55. Now McGinn wins the ball back, first involvement since he came on. He tried to knock it in field, tried to pick out Washington, couldn't quite find him, but it's an impressive entrance by the man from Aberdeen. 12 goals for his club last season. Tends to come off the bench these days when he's playing for his country. Only played 90 minutes in 5 of the last 43 internationals.
When you come off the bench, Joel, you've got to make an impact, so it's important that he uses what he's got in his locker, which is pace, and be direct and be positive when he's in possession of the ball.
Crane also about to make a change down below us. Jerry Taggart told us earlier he felt that perhaps they would need to change something. They're 1-0 down, 20 minutes to go. Ball played towards the edge of the box, falls on the edge of the area, and the shot from Kovalenko with his right foot whistles past the post. He puts his hands to the back of his head, and he knows that was a great chance.
Well, it's good build-up play from Ukraine. It's a good ball in from Shevchuk to Selesnyov. He's chested it down brilliantly there to the edge of the box, and Kovalenko, it's a free on the half volley. You're expecting him to hit the target from there, but he just sort of catches the outside of his foot, and luckily for Northern Ireland he puts it wide. But again, it's a bit of a let off for Northern Ireland. They've just got to make sure that they can keep things tight at the back and don't let the Ukrainians in.
Well, they've made their change. Selesnyov, the striker, has gone off. He's been replaced by Roman Zozulya. He played that lone striking role against Germany, was dropped for the game tonight, but he has been introduced with 20 minutes to go. So will that change the fortunes for Ukraine? Will it be same old story? I mean, you do feel sorry for Selesnyov. He barely got a chance. Did he get a sniff of a chance?
I don't think so, Joel. But he works hard. He's worked hard all game, but I don't think so. No, I think his last contribution was chasing that ball down to Kovalenko.
Kovalenko running forward, wins a free kick, wants to take it quickly, does take it quickly. It's reaching that stage in the game when Northern Ireland fans may start looking towards the clock. 1-0 in front. The goal scored by the man who's in possession now, Gareth McCauley. He's in a little bit of trouble, lost possession but only briefly. Ukraine giving the ball back to Northern Ireland. Norwood giving it to McGinn, but he's still inside his own half. It's another late foul. Norwood was caught, and referee right on top of things again. Need to retrieve the ball. We're not Brazil, we're Northern Ireland is the rallying cry you can hear from away to our right. I'm thinking maybe contemplating another Northern Ireland substitution here. Someone who'd been on a warm-up being invited to come back to the bench. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Meanwhile, with the free kick, McCauley, right-footed, long one. It's flicked out towards the far side and Dallas by Johnny Evans. Back into Johnny Evans. He tried to find Dallas again, but Dallas didn't read that pass, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
He didn't read that pass because that was a centre half's pass, Joe. And nobody can read them.
Especially if you're playing those passes, Jerry.
In that area of the pitch, that's for sure.
Ukraine in their all-yellow strip, trying to get the ball into the Northern Ireland half. Chance for Konoplyanka. Again, he's approached by Corey Evans, forces him to run square across the pitch. Konoplyanka plays a 1-2 and then works it out wide to the right hand side. So, Yarmolenko now in possession, turning, he's facing the side of the penalty area. He puts a cross in, but he's overhit the cross, bounces once, and is it going to be kept in? Yes, it is, but maybe putting it out of play for the throw-in might have been the better idea, though it's an awful touch on the near side by Rakitsky. Manages to keep it in play. Ukraine are about to make another substitution next time the ball goes out of play. Meanwhile, Yarmolenko on the right hand side, two Northern Ireland players facing him, just knocks it between the two of them. Yarmolenko then makes his run into the penalty area. Johnny Evans blocks the attempted cross, plays the short pass. Northern Ireland trying to play their way out of danger. There's too much of a gap between the midfielders and Washington, who was up front on his own, so he couldn't get to that attempted forward pass. Ukraine therefore have the ball back. Chance maybe for a cross from the right. Fullback gets forward, Cross is brilliantly blocked by Evans, who has been absolutely outstanding.
Fantastic defending again from Johnny Evans, but Connor Washington needs to come a little bit deeper. You know, they're trying to clear balls from inside their own 18-yard box, and they're not reaching. He's playing on the shoulder of the last defender.
He's in the opposition half.
Yeah, he needs to come shorter, so if them balls get cleared, he's there to make a challenge. At the minute, he's playing too far in the opposition's half. He needs to come into his own.
So another change. Dennis Harmash comes on. The stadium announcer lets everybody know. So 2 changes now made by Ukraine. The 1 substitution so far for Michael O'Neill. 15 minutes to go. Ukraine 0, Northern Ireland 1. Gareth McCauley with the goal. One of the senior citizens. He and Aaron Hughes, the 2 36-year-olds, playing in that back 4 and trying to see Northern Ireland over the line. Can they maintain the clean sheet? Oh, ball breaks kindly now for Ukraine, and that is an awful shot from Kovalenko again. The one he had earlier was more a sort of a bouncing ball that landed for him on the edge of the penalty area. It was sitting up nicely and he fired it wide. This one, ball broke to him. I'm not sure if he even could have maybe taken it in a little bit closer before a challenge arrived, but he just dragged the shot with his right foot well wide away to his left and the goalkeeper's right, and it was a pretty poor effort.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time and room to take that shot. You're expecting him to do better, Joe, and
he's a player with a bit of pedigree. He's the joint top scorer at the Under-20 World Cup last year. Played in the Champions League this season. Played 7 Champions League matches for Shakhtar Donetsk, but that was a disappointing finish.
It came to him too easily.
Aaron Hughes sliding in, keeps the ball in play and just collides with the padding that protects the television camera that's situated just on the halfway line on ground level. And immediately a UEFA official comes out and fixes the carpet and the padding. I think we're going to see Chris Bird soon. John O'Neill, another former Leicester City defender who's working for BBC Radio Ulster, was holding up a piece of paper. I think he was suggesting that he would like to see Bird on, not that he is coming on, but he thinks it might be a good time to bring him on. And with his experience, his vast experience, maybe just to sit in front of the back 4 and to play at the bottom almost of that midfield funnel.
I think with Oliver Norwood, not trying to take anything away from Ollie, but he's given the ball away a lot today, and defensively Chris Bird has got a little bit more experience, a little bit more physicality, a little bit more height, and it may boil down to that because the Ukraine are going to start putting a lot more pressure on Northern Ireland in the last 15-20 minutes.
Well, only 3 players, Jerry, have scored a winning goal for Northern Ireland at a major finals over the years. Wilbur Cush of Leeds United back in 1958, Peter McParland of Aston Villa back in 58, and of course Jerry Armstrong of Watford at the time in 1982. Is Gareth McCauley of West Bromwich Albion going to become the 4th, or is there going to be a sting in the tail? Header forward, McGovern takes up a good starting position, gets to the ball and just slides onto the ground, using up every valuable second that he possibly can. Well,
there we're seeing the surface playing its part for us there. The ball's just skidded off the surface, going into McGovern's hands. And again another let off, because that was a good header, the one there at Ukraine. And on a dry pitch could have been a little bit different.
Well, this is a massive 11 minutes plus stoppage time for Northern Ireland. A win here, who knows? 3 points might be enough to be one of the 4 best third placed teams in the groups, but at least they go to Paris to take on Germany with a fighting chance and with hope. And if they could nick a point from that one and get to 4 points, surely that would be enough. Johnny Evans has some defending to do. He's conceded the corner. There's a long way to go yet. How are the nerves?
Well, that's the first sloppy thing he's done all day, Johnny Evans. He's been magnificent, and when you didn't want to give away a corner, he's given away a corner. So now they've got to make sure to defend this properly. Johnny Evans will probably be the one who wants to get his head on this.
Right-footed corner in towards the near post, headed away. Decent distance on the clearance. falls out towards this near side, the left-hand side. Shevchuk tries to put the cross in. Good catch by McGovern, who finished the season in Scotland playing for Hamilton. Not quite sure where he's going to play his club football next season. A lot of suggestion that he will be on the move. He's doing his chances of a move no harm at all in both games.
It's an excellent take, Joel, but again, there's no pressure on him. You know, the Ukrainians are not chucking anybody in the box there. It was a decent ball into the box. Nobody's gone and challenged the goalkeeper, so it was an easy take in the end for McGovern. But in saying that, the conditions always make that easy catch a little bit more difficult.
Kacharidi, the centre back, the tall timber, the back of this Ukrainian team, knocks it into midfield and into the feet of Harmash, midfield player, Northern Ireland, forcing them back. Connor Washington's chasing absolutely everything, but he's out on his feet, and Josh McGuinness, I think, is being prepared down below us. Be a willing runner, trying to give Washington a bit of a break. He's been magnificent. Here's Harmash, wide to the right hand side it goes. Tedeschi back infield to Stepanenko gives it square. Rakititsky plays the ball forward, and Evans tries to chest it back to the goalkeeper, and it just about gets there. And Konoplyanka, whose eyes lit up when Evans tried to chest it back, comes in and just gives the goalkeeper a little pat in the back. In fact, it wasn't Konoplyanka, I think it was the substitute Harmash. Gives him a little pat in the back and says, well done. It was a hurry moment for Johnny Evans.
Well, Johnny Evans knew what he was doing. Nobody in the commentary box here knew what was happening, that's for sure. But
it is true. I've sat alongside a lot of you guys over the years, and you're all the same. You're far more nervous watching games than you ever were when you were playing.
That's understandable, Joe, because you can control to some degree what happens on the pitch. When you're sat up here, you've no control.
The late great Alan MacDonald, who many listeners I'm sure will remember from his days playing for Northern Ireland and of course for Queen's Park Rangers. Alan was so bad I used to bring shin pads when I was commentating alongside Alan MacDonald. It was an absolute nightmare. 7.5 minutes to go here in Lyon. Northern Ireland lead Ukraine 1-0. Gareth McCauley's goal separating the teams. Ball breaks kindly here on the edge of the box for Ukraine. Fizzed across the area. Players back. Everybody bar Washington back inside the box. Just hoping that the ball will hit them, that they'll be able to deflect it away, that they'll do anything to be able to keep the ball away from the Northern Ireland goal. It's gone out of play for a throw-in. Kovalenko has gone off. Zinchenko has come on for Ukraine. So that's all the changes now have been made for Ukraine. That's the last throw of the dice. Zinchenko is introduced, and as we predicted, Washington goes off and Josh McGuinness comes on. Josh McGuinness, whose only international goal was scored the night that Northern Ireland qualified against Greece. So Paddy McNair is also on. Oh no, sorry, McNair came on instead of. Sorry, McNair is coming on. I knew it was Josh McGuinness that came on. All sorts of messages. Too many people trying to talk to me here. All sorts of hand signals. It's bad enough trying to get through this. Cross into the box, header straight at McGovern.
Again, good feet from McGovern, Joel. They're just starting to build a little bit of pressure now. It's sustained pressure down both flanks. There you see a header coming in, but Michael McGovern defended his line well and was able to just get across, get down well, and just smother that ball into his arms.
Paddy McNair's being prepared down below us now. Not sure who he'll be replacing. You would have thought Norwood, would you, Jerry?
For me, I would take Norwood off just to give us a little bit more defensive edge when the ball is going into the final third.
It's Corey Evans who's going to take off.
Yeah.
So he makes way. Paddy McNair will get 5.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Corey Evans, I don't think has realised he's coming off, or else he's doing that thing about I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, he's taking as much time as he possibly can to come off. Well, do they think they've held the wrong number up? They have. They've held up the wrong... The fourth official has held up the wrong... or put the wrong number into the board. Corey Evans knew he wasn't coming off.
Michael O'Neill's down there. Surely he would sort it out and say to one of his players, come off. Because he's right amongst it now.
Nobody appears to have any idea what's happening. Paddy McNair is still standing off the pitch. Stuart Dallas isn't sure. He walked over to the near side. And Stuart Dallas, I think, did he have a blood injury? And they were going to take Corey Evans off, and then Michael O'Neill was concerned that might mean that they'd have only...
No, he's staying back on.
Pitch. We went to walk off. Michael O'Neill is going absolutely bananas with the fourth official. Corey Evans is still there. So they haven't made a changes yet.
He's put 2 numbers up and nobody's gone off. And
he's now booked Stuart Dallas. Steve Davis has gone across to ask what's that for. The good news is that the clock's still ticking.
Yeah.
So Stuart Dallas is booked. I have no idea why. At no stage did his number go up. He definitely held up the number for Corey Evans. Paddy McNair was ready to come on. Corey Evans couldn't believe that his number had been shown. It looked as if they were trying to get a signal to Dallas, or Dallas was trying to get a signal to the bench. He seemed to go and get a bit of cotton wool or something to maybe dab a wound that he had, but he didn't leave the pitch at any stage. He went to walk off. Michael O'Neill walked to the edge of the technical area and pushed him in the chest to push him back onto the pitch.
That's strange.
And nothing has happened. Anyway, 3 minutes to go. 1-0 Northern Ireland lead. They still haven't made their third and final change. Harmash plays it into the edge of the penalty area. Chance maybe here if they get it back to Harmash, but he's been forced wide. Tries to put the cross back in, takes a little deflection. Edge of the penalty area, shot is again scuffed. I think it was Shevchuk, the left back, on his right foot, the captain, and he got that all wrong, and the ball goes well wide, and Michael McGovern trying to take as long as he can over the goal kick, and one of the Ukrainian players very kindly tries to place the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box for him to encourage him to hurry up.
Yeah, nice and solid defending again, Joe, from Northern Ireland. The pressure's building from Ukraine, but they just can't seem to get that final bit of quality when they get their shots off. They just need to keep Northern Ireland just need to keep it nice and solid here. Try and build again, that's better.
Josh McGuinness appeals from the Ukrainian defenders that he'd used his hand to control the ball, and the referee signals an advantage. Ukraine still have the ball. Konoplyanka still inside his own half though. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Edge of the seat stuff. 1-0 Northern Ireland lead, on their way to a famous victory. First ever appearance for Northern Ireland at the European Championship finals. Are they on their way to their first win thanks to Gareth McCauley's header? Throw in taken short to Stepanenko. Pressure on the ball again from Davis, who has covered every single blade of grass during this game. Wide to the far side, and Yarmolenko up against Dallas. Cuts in field on his left side. First time we've really seen it. Has the shot parried away by the goalkeeper into a safe area, and Johnny Evans knocks it out for a throw on the far side. First time we've seen it from Yarmolenko all night. Cutting in from the right on his left, getting the shot away. Goalkeeper was equal to it. Yarmolenko again, little trick, gets it wide to the right hand side. High cross, goalkeeper's ball. Goalkeeper left it, hoped it was going to drop out, and he was right, it did drop out, just about.
Well, I'd like to see that again, Joel. That was a little bit nervy. Going back to his save, he's done everything right there. Far too difficult for him to try and hold that ball, but he's parried away, lovely into space. Well, there's no Ukrainian forward coming on to it, but as you can see, Michael O'Neill, he's going mental down there for some reason.
He's berating Stuart Dallas. He wants him to stop that shot. So Yarmolenko cut in field and got away from Dallas. It was too easy for him. 30 seconds plus stoppage time to go. I think we're looking at probably 4 minutes of stoppage time, I would have thought. The referee's given a free kick. Foul on Yarmolenko just inside the Northern Ireland half. taken short. Ukraine pouring forward. They know time is running out. They are desperate for an equaliser. Wide to the right it goes, and Fedetsky, low cross in. What's happened there? Terrible effort. Shot brilliantly blocked. The edge of the box by Norwood. I've no idea what the Konoplyanka on the edge of the box tried a little fancy flick.
It was Shinchenko.
It was no idea. The ball was played square across the edge of the area. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Shot from Konoplyanka, and it's well wide. 6 minutes.
And there'll be 6 minutes, Joel, by the looks of it.
You have 2.5 for substitutes. I assume he's added about 2 minutes on for the hoo-ha with the substitution, and you also have the downpour. So that's where we've got the extra time from. Means the table as it stands, if Northern Ireland can hang on, Poland will have played one with 3 points, Germany will have played one with 3 points, Northern Ireland played 2 with 3 points, Ukraine will have played 2 with no points, and still to come at 5 Live later, Germany against Poland. Jens Lehmann, part of the commentary team, and of course on BBC Radio Ulster we'll be opening the phone line 03030 80 55 55. I'd love to hear from you if you're listening on BBC Radio Ulster. Hopefully you'll be talking about a victory, but we still have 5 minutes to go. Clipped towards this near side, headed infield by the fullback but cleared away, and Corey Evans has the ball at his feet on the edge of the box, up towards the halfway line, out of play, and Paddy McNair I think may now get on. Still haven't got time to make the change. Ukraine getting about things quickly, as you would expect. Rakitsky was he took the quick throw, and goalkeeper comes into a dangerous area but gets 2 fists to the ball. Good positive decision by McGovern, gets good distance on the punch, and it's a way out for a throw in on the far side. It's wave after wave of Ukraine attack. Northern Ireland trying to stand firm. Little 1-2, well cut out. That's a foul surely in the edge of the box. It is. Northern Ireland can relieve the pressure.
Yeah,
it's a brave one by Norwood against another one of those where as he clears the ball he knows he's going to take a hit and picks himself up, battered and bruised, but job done. Attack stopped, and Corey Evans now will go off, and Paddy McNair now will come on eventually. So longest running substitution saga in the history of the European Championship. Paddy McNair will get 3.5 minutes of stoppage time. Corey Evans gets a hug from his manager. Eyebrows raised when Corey Evans was named in the starting 11, but he has totally justified his selection. McGuinness wins the ball, plays it out to the near side, the right. McGinn goes down the right hand side. Should he take it to the corner or should he put the cross in? Puts a low cross in. Bad decision. Won back by Ratitsky. Ukraine thinking they may have time for another attack. Great challenge from Aaron Hughes, sliding in and winning the ball back. It was Gareth McCauley actually who won the ball back, sliding in. McGinn needs to try and keep Ukraine in their own half, and maybe force them into that corner, but they play their way out of trouble. Find the goalkeeper Piatov, and he knocks it out to the right hand side, and Kacharidi, and they'll try to break down the far side. That's another foul, and a chance for Yarmolenko to get a free kick. He demands a ball quickly from the ball boy over on the far side. 2.5 minutes to go. Northern Ireland still lead 1-0. The goal scored by Gareth McCauley. McGinn almost nicking the ball off the Ukrainians in their own half. He's chasing absolutely everything. Playing square to Piatov. The fans trying to get Northern Ireland over the line. It has to be a foul, surely. It is. Johnny Evans is brought down. He kicks the ball out over on the far side. He might be booked for this, Evans, he is, for time wasting. I don't think he'll care.
I don't think he'll care. I don't think anybody up here cares, Joel. Great bit of defending from Johnny Evans, nice and positive right at the end.
Unless you're a Ukrainian broadcaster, you may care.
Well, we'll talk to them after. 3 points are in the bag.
You're big enough to deal with them, I think, Jerry.
It's just important now, Joel, we stay solid. Yeah, the keeper puts the ball in the right areas. Try and keep the ball in their half as long as we can to see this game out.
90 seconds. There's a rainbow over the Stade de Lyon. Is it a sign? Flicked forward by McGuinness, but infield and to the goalkeeper. You want those flicked into the corner.
It's a poor kick for me.
Ukraine attacking on the left hand side with Konoplyanka. Are they going to steal a late equaliser? We've had one late equaliser in the early game, but Konoplyanka's cross is into the side netting and behind, and it's a goal kick.
That sort of summed up his night, Joel, hasn't it? He's not been on form all day. His quality's been indifferent.
He's been very disappointing.
Yeah, to say
as has Yarmolenko. They've both been poor. The fear for Northern Ireland coming into this game was the two wide players, such a big reputation, but they have been Northern Ireland have dealt with their threat magnificently well. We are into the last minute of the 6 additional minutes. Gareth McCauley's goal still separating the sides. Northern Ireland 1-0 in front. Is he going to add his name to that list of players who have scored winning goals for Northern Ireland at major finals? Davis has it. McGuinness in the corner. He needs to go into the corner and try and win something. Drop of the shoulder. McGuinness tries to pull it back. Edge of the area. Low shot. Great save. McGinn! Niall McGinn puts it beyond all doubt. Off the bench. Fires it in. And Northern Ireland have won a game at the European Championship Finals for the first time ever.
Just when you thought, Joel, you were saying put it in the corner, keep it. Lovely bit of skill from Josh McGuinness. He's pulled the ball back. I don't even know he did the dummy on the edge of it. Sure, Douts has had a shot on target. It's dropped him again. I think it was McGinn who ran over the top of it. The keeper's parted back out to McGinn, and he's just slotted it home for 2-0. Unbelievable result for Northern Ireland here in Lyon.
Off the bench to score in the opening qualifier. Off the bench to score here at the finals. Niall McGinn puts it beyond doubt. There's not a sweat on anymore. There's a party on in Lyon. We'll kick off and we have about 20 seconds left at most. The referee blows the final whistle. McGinn's second goal is the final act of this game. Northern Ireland players sink to their knees. They have given it absolutely everything. Tonight, they are the kings of Lyon.
Well, Joel, after what happened on last Friday night, should I say, against Poland, Michael O'Neill had to set his team up to try and win a game of football. He's done that. The players have come through with the goods against Ukraine, and this gives us a good fighting chance going into the game next week against Germany of reaching the last 16. Fantastic result.
Dare to dream, is that what they say? Incredible. They never ever know when they're beaten. They look down and out after the game against Poland at the weekend, but they have bounced back in style. It's finished in Lyon. Northern Ireland 2, Ukraine 0.